Hey everyone, Libby here. Finally feeling well enough to actually answer the questions that you guys sent in to me probably about 2 weeks ago now. So sorry there's been such a delay. I thought I would feel up to doing it or be okay to do it in hospital, but I really never felt that well enough to sort of try and think that clearly and answer your questions, and then I've had a bit of a rough time since I've been home. Finally feeling an awful lot better. Day 2 of having walked the dog, so we know things are going well when I'm back out walking the dog. So I'm just going to write April off as a total failure of a month. Definitely a very fibro month, and yeah, move forward into May. So we'll get started on these questions. I just got my phone here, so I'll just look down to get to them, and yeah, we'll see how we go with this. Right, Vim1717 asked how and when did you and Kevin meet? We're always atheists, always a recent choice. Do you have any brothers or sisters? Okay, well I'll answer the first question first, because that's nice and easy. No, I'm an only child, so I don't have any brothers or sisters. And the rest is kind of a funny story, kind of goes together. I have answered it before, so I'll do it quite briefly. And if you want more detailed answers, it's in one of the other Q&As, I can't remember which one. But the brief story is we actually met at a church youth group back when we were about 13 maybe. And we started sort of going out, as you did back then, when we were 14, I think. So yeah, we met at a church youth group. So yeah, we're quite religious. We're brought up in religious sort of families. Well, my mum was, Kevin's parents both were very, very religious people. And yeah, as we got to sort of older teens, we kind of started to question everything, and to us it just didn't make any sense at all. So really since probably about 18 or so, we've been atheists. Bickety Boo says, I know that Rosie is older than Bailey. Did we get them as puppies? Yeah, so Rosie was 7 months, I think, when we got her. She came from a family that they were, I think they were planning on breeding her because she wasn't dissexed at that stage. It might have been 8 months, lost track of time now. So 7 or 8 months. And the older dogs had been baited. People had thrown poison bait over the back fence, so the parents had been moved somewhere safe, and obviously they were then deciding, I assume, not to continue breeding because someone in the neighborhood wasn't happy about it, so they needed a home for Rosie. So we went and saw her. She replaced our boy Sam that died, and then so we had her and Belle, who was an old retriever at the time, and then when Belle died we got Bailey, and we did get him as a puppy. He was 8 weeks old when we got him. He was the last in the litter, and I think the second biggest boy, they said. And when we got there, his mum and dad come running out to meet us. They're on a farm, a property farm, and had like the freedom of the area. They come running out to meet us. The owners weren't actually home at the time, and they were the friendliest parents. And then when the owners turned up, we got to meet Bailey and fell instantly in love. So yeah, so at the end of May, Rosie will be 12 and Bailey will be 10. And our other dogs, Sam, we got 3 months old from the pound, and we got Belle when she was 3 years. So we try and, if we can, get a dog that needs a home. Obviously Bailey was the first like really puppy that we'd had. And it was great. Probably because these two are close in age, we'll probably try and get one, like secondhand, I guess, or that needs a home more desperately, and then we'll probably get one puppy if I feel I'm up to training a little puppy. That could be an issue. Athena's actually getting a service dog soon, so we'll be able to see how I deal with the puppy, I guess, that she gets, and then that'll help us make a better decision. But obviously, ideally, we'd love to give dogs that need a home a home. Okay, Waylon asks, what's something that most people wouldn't guess about me? Well, thanks for asking me a nice tricky one that I now have to think about. I'm guessing one thing, I mean, people who know my vlogs will probably know this about me, but I'm into like watching some sports, which I'm not a sporty person at all. I never have watched sports, but I like watching some sports, and I don't think many people would guess that about me. So I like watching the road racing, the cycling, winter sports, like, well, any of the winter Olympic sports, but if I had the time, I would watch them even when it's not the Olympics, because I love winter sports. And I did a sled dog race is my other one that I'm sort of really into. My favorite meal to cook, anything that's easy and doesn't have too many ingredients. I enjoy cooking, but not fiddly things. So favorite meal to cook, Probably just something like nachos or a rice bowl, something that's sort of really easy. I used to enjoy cooking more when I had more stamina for it, but now it's like what's kind of quick and easy and yummy to put together. And what's the family's favourite meal that I cook? Kevin really likes the rice bowls. Athena really likes nachos, so that's good on those 2 points. Yeah, you ask the most difficult questions. And they all like a cheesy potato chowder that I make too, so I can still make it and leave out the cheese or put a vegan cheese in. That's another one I do like. Most those tend to eat whatever I give them really, so there's not often a request for a particular meal. Karen asks, any more big trips in the works? Well, possibly. I might have more news about that in a few weeks, although kind of. At the moment, we're possibly going to, Kevin's possibly going to the Vegas conference again at the end of the year. We'll know in the next few weeks where that's going, and if he is going, I'm going to go with him, and we're going to do a California road trip, like drive up to San Francisco, down the Pacific Coast Highway to San Diego, and of course have a few days at Disneyland. So, and the other one, which is more probable than improbable, or more likely than unlikely at the moment, is Disney World at the end of next year. So Christy will finish high school, Athena will hopefully have finished her first year of university, and that may be our last sort of big family overseas trip. So we've been working on Kevin for a while, and he finally sort of kind of agreed to it the other day. So as long as things continue to go well with the kids getting on and whatnot, and Athena's obviously a bit of a question mark. She'll see how she's feeling more towards, obviously, beginning of next year. We need to start booking things, but we will probably go even if she doesn't come. So, because the service dog might affect whether she can come or not, to whether she has a service dog or how far along the service dog is in his training. Okay, a whole lot from VB, who is Joe. Joe is Athena's friend from high school. He was, if you watch the Christmas vlogs, he was around at Christmas time. Yeah, he's sort of kind of a member of the family, an honorary member of the family. He's one of her very, very good friends. He's always there when she needs him, so it's nice that she's got a few friends like that. Her other friend Harriet, though, has moved to Melbourne for university, so Joe's probably the next one that sort of, yeah, he would do anything. They've just got a real special relationship, the two of them, really, really good relationship. Is Kevin happier in his job? He is, but he's still super stressed, particularly at the moment. I mean, I guess because he had his own business for so long, he still takes his work super seriously, just like it's his own business. Like, and I guess not like a normal employee. He doesn't leave work still at work. He brings it home. At the moment, he's not sleeping because he's got, you know, a bit of stress with work at the minute. And it's just he's not used to separating work, I guess, from home life. But he's definitely happier. When he sold his business to them, he had 3-year commitment. We're down 1 year now already, so that's gone really quick. So in 2 years time, he can decide whether he wants to stay there or do something else. What kind of autism does Athena have? Oh, I need to get Athena to answer that question for you because I do not know. Is Christy feeling better and any more settled with help from school medication? She's so lovely. Yeah, she's a lovely girl. She's definitely better. We still have a few down periods, and she's learning a lot of coping skills, I guess, and a lot of learning to say no to things. I think I mentioned this in the vlog, like it hasn't gone up yet, but she's, instead of taking on everything, not just school, but all the extra activities like with the writing and artwork and stuff that she likes to do, she's finally learned to say no to those ones, particularly if they've got a deadline. So, I mean, she loves doing them, but she's finally worked out for herself. She just cannot do them at this stage with, but she just can't do them probably this year or next year when she's got the IB to prioritize. So she's, yeah, she was dreading going to school yesterday, but when she came home, she said she had a good day. So still a bit of a work in progress. And the medication, I think, has helped. Would I ever return to work? Not now that I've got fibro. No, I can't see that it would ever really be feasible. Even if physically, maybe, that's a big ask. Mentally, my brain does not work properly anymore. I forget things. I don't think I'll be a very reliable worker. yeah, I don't think it's a feasible thing, and luckily enough it's not necessarily financially for me to do that. So I'm very, very lucky that Kevin can support our family and I don't have to work. And yeah, I don't think it would, we don't even know how Athena's going to go trying to hold down a job with fibro. I think it's really hard unless you've sort of got not bad fibro, because well, obviously fibro is such different degrees, but I think for most people with fibro, working in a traditional job is really impossible, and that's why most have to stop working unless you've got a super understanding employee who will say, you might have to bring it one day and go, I can't come in today, because you just can't get there. And that's the thing, it's unpredictable. You can't predict it in the future. You can't say, okay, I'm not coming to work next week for one day. You don't know until that morning when you wake up how you're going to go. So yeah, will we return to Disney? Most definitely. I already mentioned that. Possibly Disneyland at the end of this year, and hopefully, more than likely, Disney World at the end of next year. And that will probably be it for a while, because I think after that we will move on to doing more of Europe, because obviously we don't have to work the kids so much. So I'll probably try and do more of Europe, I think, at that stage. Honeybee asked about Athena's weight loss. We think she's lost over 50 kilos now, which is like 120 pounds. She's still technically overweight, which to us seems kind of hard to believe, but yes, look, obviously she still is overweight, but yeah, she's not obese, she's overweight now, I believe, or very close to being just overweight, something like that. And she hasn't got technically an MS diagnosis, but there's still further investigations, but probably won't know. They're going to do more tests in 6 months time and see, but it's still probable MS. Karen asks again, is Christy dating anyone? No, she's not. How did we come to live next door to my parents? When we decided to, we're looking at the land out here, my dad they must have had a conversation. Dad asked, well, how do you, because we bought land and we built a house, and he just said, well, how do you feel about us living next door? And we said, that would be great. So they decided to move out here too. And it works out really well. I mean, the kids were young when we moved. Christy was 3 and Athena was 5. So it's been good as far as babysitting, having them right next door. And even the dogs now, I go backwards and forwards. I'm an only child, which I think it kind of made sense that obviously at that stage, before I had fibro, I could have helped look after them in their old age. Now it's more they look after me and help out me, but we can help each other out a lot too, and it is ideal. I don't know when we move from here what will happen, whether we'll go together again somewhere or what, but it's been, yeah, been really ideal while the kids, particularly while the kids were younger, and even now it's still good. Is Kevin's family nearby? No, both his parents are now deceased. His mum died when we were at university, so a very long time ago. His dad died at the beginning of last year. Yeah, I think January last year. But they weren't a close family. He has a brother and a sister. His sister lives in Sydney. His brother lives in Queensland, which is like a 12-hour drive away. We would see them from time to time at his dad's. So obviously we have not seen them since his dad passed away. We saw them obviously at the funeral. So yeah, they're just not a close family. It's a shame, but his parents were divorced when they were young. So, and his dad was a strange man. I'm not going to go into all his dad's faults, but yeah. So they weren't anywhere near remotely a normal family growing up. And Kevin, from when I met him at 14, pretty much spent most weekends at our place. So, because often there was no one at his home. Did Athena ever get a diagnosis? I've already addressed that. And when did I become a vegetarian? Why did I decide to become a vegetarian? I became a vegetarian, I think it's now 14 years ago. And I've been saying to Kevin forever, I always said, if I had a personal chef, I'd become a vegetarian, because I just thought it was too hard to do. And I didn't think I could do it. And I didn't think I knew how to cook vegetarian, or like, you know, 3 meals and snacks a day. And then one day I think Kevin just got sick of me saying that, and he goes, why don't you do it? And I just said, well, I'm not going to cook 2 meals every day. And he said, well, I'll just cook whatever you make, which I'm sure he regrets to this day. Because yeah, that's how it's been ever since then. So yeah, when I said, okay, I'm going to do it, I thought, I don't know how long it would last, but I did. I stuck with it, and now I've actually been vegan since the beginning of February. So so that's 3 months as well being vegan now. And again, I've tried many times to make the switch to vegan, and because obviously the dairy and egg industries are actually probably the worst as far as meat industries go, like, because all the male calves and all the male chickens are all they're all killed. They're useless, so in the industry, so they are killed, and often not in very nice ways. So if I'm going to be an ethical vegetarian, then obviously I need to be, oh, I didn't address that actually, it was because of the way animals in the industries were treated. I didn't like killing animals for food. Well, that's just rude. So yeah, there was ethical reasons. I didn't actually answer that question properly, did I? Yes, so there was ethical reasons that I became a vegetarian. Didn't like the way animals were treated. But then yeah, I was ignorant about the dairy and egg industry, which I now know, and it's taken me a while to sort of get the switch. We've now got a lot more vegan foods in Australia, so it's become, I don't even miss cheese anymore. That was like a hard one for me to give up, and we found, yeah, I'm not having any trouble at all now with a vegan diet. And why does our household have like 3 living rooms? This is pretty normal in Australia. Most homes would have like a formal lounge room and a family room. We've kind of got the study as well. I don't know what the other living room you mean is, but we've got like 2 full lounge suites. Again, in the kitchen where I am now, that was our family room, and this is our lounge room. But usually lounge rooms don't have TVs in them, like it's a real formal room that's very rarely used. So we've kind of got 2 family rooms, and the kids obviously use this one all the time when they were little, and then we would use that one, which we still do. This one does not get used at all anymore. I don't know the last time that TV was on. Christy sits in there sometime to read, and they've got friends over. Sometimes they might sit there, but it's they used when they were little, not so much used now. It's a pretty useless room that now. But yeah, it's very normal in Australia to have 2 lounge rooms, or to have a lounge room and a family room. And then that other room where Christy is, it's got a sofa bed in it and a couch, or sofa bed couch. That was a scrapbook room. That's now Christy's sort of, call it Christy's room really now, because she's the only one who uses it. She stays down there, does her homework there, and watches all the videos and does the writing. So she takes good use of that room. It's nice because she's at least downstairs rather than up in the bedroom all the time. So that's really nice. Oh yeah, someone actually answered that we've got the 2 living rooms. And that was my scrapbook room, yes. People know me so well. Yes, if we were selling it, Karen asked, would it be an office? We would probably, yeah, call it an office. Because obviously scrapbook rooms aren't really a thing. And I don't know what we'll do with that room when the kids move out, because I don't scrapbook anymore. I don't use that room at all. I've got to clean it out. That's why I usually do the videos in there, but it's so messy I thought I'm going to do it in this room so the background is not so crazily messy. Ada asks, how does the infusion work to take the pain away? Basically, it's supposed to like reset your pain levels. So it's supposed to, I guess if your pain's a 5, or usually probably a 7 or an 8 when you go in, it's supposed to reset your baseline of pain. Like with fibro, there's always pain. But I think it's supposed to take your baseline down lower so you don't feel as much pain and the flares don't get as bad. Yeah, it doesn't take it away totally, it just sort of kind of resets the baseline. Roxanne asks, is there any place in Australia where they teach you pain management? Yes, there is. Actually, Athena's it's a long process to get to. Athena goes to one. It's only like 10 minutes away from here. It's not very far at all. But I think to get in, like, we first saw them over a year ago, and I think she's just going to the pain course soon. But I think she had to delay 2 of them for other reasons, so it's been a bit of a delay. So there is, I just don't know, I'd get a lot out of it. I think my pain management is fairly good. Like, I think I kind of know all the things to do. You know, I'm not really a stressed person. I'm at home, so I can take things easy. I don't know. I'm not at this stage where I feel I need to, considering there's such a wait for it, I don't think I really want to take someone's spot in that at this stage. Okay, this is Nutlin. Asks, have I considered trying intermittent fasting? They're saying it's supposed to be good for reducing inflammation. I've actually considered it for weight loss. I don't know about inflammation. I did actually try the 5-2 version of it, where you fast 2 days a week. but don't eat anything. I think I eat it in the night or something like that. But I was so I can't remember now. I couldn't make it through one day. I got so nauseous and so sick. My body did not like it at all. So I certainly can't do that version. And I've looked at doing the version where you only eat for 8 hours of the day, and you start like late in the day, like 12 o'clock, even 12 to 8 or something like that. I just don't know. I probably could do that, but I'm reluctant because I love my tea in the morning. I know you can drink green or black tea, so it's something I probably should try it, but I haven't sort of. I'll have to look into it more about the information and see, maybe that might be the convincing factor. Laura Lee asks if I see a specialist about my psoriasis. No, I don't, because it's only like how it looks. It's never, and I wear long pants most of the time, and I'm home most of the time. So it doesn't bother me most days because I don't even notice it. Very rarely does it get itchy or anything. So it's purely just how it looks, and yeah. So I never have. I've had cream for it, but I don't find the cream works. But yeah, I've never really been bothered by it enough to warrant going to see someone else. It's just got enough issues, I guess, with the fibro and everything, and Athena's issues, that it's like, yeah, that doesn't matter. That's just superficial. I mean, you can see I've got a few bits here, two dots there. They'll go away eventually, but yeah, no, I haven't ever worried about it. Obviously, when I go to my rheumatologist, he checks things for any indications of psoriatic arthritis, and so far there's nothing there at all. And was wondering if I have a team of doctors looking after my immune type medical problems. No, not really. I have my rheumatologist and my GP pretty much. Do I have anyone else? No, I think that's all I have. Okay, Summer 45 asks, have I ever been to Tasmania? Yes, I have. I've been to Hobart. That's all. I've been to Hobart. One of our wedding anniversaries, Kevin and I went down and had like 4 days in Hobart. And we hired a car, went out to Port Arthur, went to the chocolate factory, but I was sick that day. I didn't even get to eat much chocolate. Yeah, so I have been. I'd love to go back. I'd love to take the motorhome over and tour around. So one day we'll definitely be back again to do that. And who are my favourite actors? Honestly, I really don't know now. Like forever, it was Brendan Fraser and Ewan McGregor. Like since I was a teenager, they were my favourite actors. But I don't even really like follow them anymore, or have seen any of their more recent movies. So I don't have anyone in particular that I sort of have to watch all their movies or anything like that. Yeah, like I don't even think I follow any actors on Instagram or anything, musicians more than actors. But yeah, there's a lot of good actors around there, but yeah, I don't know who my favourites would be. Jasperelli 22 asks, what motivated me to start trying to live a life of minimalism? I think I was just reading and sort of coming across it and thinking, I think the main thing in that was when I would declutter an area, I started realizing how nice it was to have less stuff out, and I was happier than having more stuff. But it's really been a long process for me. I've still got lots of areas to declutter and maintain due to my wonderful fibro health. But yeah, every time I would take things away, I'd go, oh, that looks so good. I love that. I love it, less things. So yeah, that's probably the main thing. Plus, realistically, obviously with my health problems, if I have less to clean and less look after, that's good. And one probably really good thing about my fibro is that's when I started, I didn't shop because I didn't go out. I was unwell enough to go out shopping, so I couldn't shop for fun. And now I have no desire to shop for fun, except maybe on a holiday or something like that, a vacation, then that's different. But normally, no. But I used to go shopping all the time to escape the house. Now I just love being at home. So, or unwell enough to leave the house. But yeah, so that kept getting fibro in a way that it broke my habit of going shopping and buying stuff. And now it's just, yeah, I mean, I buy some things online. Watch the vlogs this week. I've had a few deliveries this week, but I go ages without buying anything, and then I'll buy a few things, usually from online friends. Is the main thing I tend to buy from. So yeah, I just got out of the habit of shopping, and I love everywhere not having as much stuff. Like even my Christmas stuff, I put out less, and that's not a good example at the moment because I need to fix that up. But yeah, I enjoy having more space now and less stuff out. And they try to be minimalist, but there's always work to do. Yeah, I think it's a very long process. I mean, unless you've really got the time, and most of us don't have that time to put into just, or we've got a small space maybe. But I think most of us have had a home, have been collecting stuff for years and years and years, and got a family. It's really hard. And obviously Kevin is not quite on board. I don't know if you can see those tins up there. Christy wanted a hot chocolate, so we thought it'd be nice and order a hot chocolate, but he got like, I think he had to buy like 8 or 10 tins, and then he'd ordered the wrong one, so they're dark chocolate, and Christy won't have dark chocolate, so I've given a few away. Athena says it's quite nice, and she'll have an odd hot chocolate, and because it's dark, it is at least vegan, but I've got all these tins of, you know, because that's what Kevin does, he can't buy one of anything, so that's hard for me. Okay. And a few questions from Maggie about Athena's MS, which I've already addressed. And she's, I completely understand if this is too personal a question for you to answer. Oh, that was about Athena. I answered that, yeah. I'm also curious to know how you cope so well with all you go through. Libby, you are a superwoman. Well, I don't know about that, but I think it's just my personality, and as you guys know, I'm not a worrier, and I think that's a big benefit, obviously, especially in the last year. So yeah, I don't worry about things until there's something to worry about, and even then I'm like, hey, it'll work out. I'm very much a positive thinker. I think everything will work out, and even my fibro, I just think, oh, you know, it's okay. Unless I'm having a really bad period, then I start to think, oh, this is never, you know, I'm never going to be good again. But most of the time I just think, oh well, I can cope with ups and downs, and I've been lucky enough with all my holidays have been good, so usually critical times I manage through. And I think it's just, yeah, I think it's unfortunately it's just a part of me and who I am. And yeah, I'm not a stressy person, I'm not a worrier. I must get that from my dad because I don't get that from my mum. She's very much a stresser and a worrier. Okay, Debbie asked, well, she's got questions for Athena, for Christy, and for Kevin and myself. What are some countries we'd still love to visit? Probably all the ones we haven't been to. Oh, not all of them. We'll talk about it the other day. Kevin would love to go to India. I'm not real keen. I heard too many horror stories about India. Maybe one day that would be right down the bottom of the list. Same as like Asia doesn't really appeal to me, although mainly because a lot of the companies like attitudes and laws and stuff I don't agree with. I don't like to go to those countries. But so we're probably what we're mainly looking at is probably Europe. We've only done some of the Baltic states. We'd like to do the rest of Europe. Go back to the Baltic states, but yeah, so that's probably where we're going to look at next. And Africa somewhere. I think we'd both love to go to Africa. Okay, a few questions from Instagram. How old was I when I met Kevin? Well, I think we met when I was 13, and we sort of started going out when I was 14. We started being together since we were 14, but we met before that. Sorry, that was Natty the Little Misfit. Living Like June asked how Athena's going since the MS diagnosis. She's actually doing okay at the moment. It's like, I mean, MS is like fibro and then you get flares. So she was really bad a few days ago, and then she's been good again. So she's back at TAFE again this week and doing pretty well. So she's taken it all in her stride. She just did lots of research when MS was first raised, and she's just working on the assumption that she has it, which I guess all you can do, and it can be really kept from developing further with the plant-based diet. From lots and lots of studies have shown that. So that's what she's been doing. So she's been really, really good with that. Tristan 1 asks, where is the next big holiday? Well, I already answered that question, but I haven't answered little holidays. I mean, maybe they're a big holiday, I don't know. not motorhome holidays, but we have recently, as in this week, booked 2 other holidays. Athena and I are going down to Melbourne in the next school holidays, so in July, because her friend, as I mentioned earlier, Harriet, is in uni down there, so we're going to do a road trip down and spend a week with Harriet. Well, Athena will spend the week with Harriet. I'll probably tag along some days, and other days I'll go do my own thing. And in the next school holidays after that, in October, Kevin, Christy and myself are going up to Surfers Paradise, because Christy also wanted a holiday this year. So we booked to go to Surfers, and Athena may come with us, but probably not. She's got a few important appointments, like that pain clinic one that she's put off twice. Is actually on that week, and she's got another important appointment. Plus she's hoping to have a service dog by then, so she probably won't come. So yeah, so I've got that, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, Vegas and California for Kevin and myself at the end of the year. Joy asks, what is my passion in life? I like nice, easy, straightforward questions that don't require me to think too much. Actually, I read this when you sent it, and I started to think about it, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't know. Golden retrievers at the moment. Bailey's looking at me. Oh, do I have to get up? Just gotta let Bailey in. Sorry, I'll be back. There we go. Just let him back in. I don't know if I have a passion in life. I don't know. I just go about my days, especially with fibro, but even before that, I don't know. Just enjoying life. Travel is probably my passion. Yeah, actually travel, of course, would be travel. Because I always say that, like, I don't feel we need much more money. I just want to be able to travel enough that we can travel. Like, that's what I want money for. You know, beyond living expenses, I just want to be able to travel. So yeah, traveling and seeing the world, definitely, yeah, that would be my passion. Nourish Buzzer asks, do I take an iron supplement? Is your iron low because of your diet? No, I don't take a supplement. My iron was low, but we don't really know why. It's not because of my diet, because only my ferritin levels were low, which is just storage. So your body's not storing the iron properly, I believe. Anyway, it's not a dietary issue. It could be from my weight loss surgery that I had, how many years ago? 11 years ago. But my body still basically should work the same, so I don't really know why. That's why I had the iron infusion, was to boost the iron levels up and the ferritin levels. Kiwi Alette. So what is Christy going to do when she leaves school? Well, she's hoping to go, well, planning on going to university at this stage. I don't think she really knows quite what she wants to do at university. She sort of still changes a bit. She's very into psychology at the moment, so possibly that. The last thing she was talking about doing. Jackie W9 asks, with Athena now having the MS diagnosis, which she technically doesn't have, does she still have fibromyalgia as well? Yes, she does, definitely. Her neurologist actually questioned that, and her rheumatologist said no, she definitely has fibromyalgia. Yeah, so she's got both, and she's so lucky. Also, is Athena still gender neutral? Yes, she is. If anyone doesn't know what that means, it means Athena doesn't consider themselves to be either male or female. So her correct pronouns, which I have been very, very bad about using, and actually they mentioned that, is, and I blame my fibro head for that a bit too. Her preferred pronouns are they, them, their. But, you know, when she first sort of, say again, she, I've gotten out of the habit, because Athena doesn't worry about it so much now either. So I've sort of, when they first sort of let us know that that's how they were, I was pretty, well, it was hard to get used to it. I kind of got used to it, and then because of fibro, and also because I haven't worried about correcting me anymore, I've just sort of gotten back into the habit of she, her. So I do it sometimes, but most of the time I don't. And it's mainly because Athena, even though it's just a preference, they don't worry anymore. So yeah, but technically yes, Athena is them, they, their, them, they, their, what? Oh, I don't know. I can't see. This is my problem. Yeah, another one. I Heart Sydney 2 asked about an update about Athena and any vacation plans. Well, I've done that now. Okay, that's it. I'm sure this is going to be far too long because I've been a bit rambly. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't miss any questions. If I did, put it below and I'll just type out the answer for that. So anyway, I will see you all again soon. Bye.